Oh, yes! On August 12th, 1999, I caught my first muskie on Big Stone Lake on the Three Lakes chain. A 34.5 incher that slammed a baby depth raider. Actually, right in the spot you're looking at right now. I was by myself, fishing out of my 14-foot Alumacraft with my 9.9 horse Evinrude. I didn't have a net or a trolling motor, so I would position my boat with the oars. And those are some of my best memories growing up as a kid. And it was after that moment that my life would forever change. I was hooked, absolutely addicted to this sport we call muskie hunting. So I bought a boat and started my muskie guiding service in 2007. And then, in 2013, I teamed up with my childhood idol, Joe Bucher, as a videographer and eventually co-hosted his television show with him. And it is amazing to me as I reflect on my fishing career thus far about the many great accomplishments that none of them have to actually do with muskies. I mean, yes, all the giant fish we've captured and guiding folks to their first muskies are important accomplishments. But when you peel back the layers and look deeper into what we're doing, it all boils down to a couple things. We are so lucky to be able to do what we do because of the sacrifices made by the men and women in our armed forces that provide us these very freedoms. And at the core of it all, it is the friendships that I have made along the way and the time spent with these people that I value most that is truly what makes hunting muskies so special.
There he is, Big Whiskey. How you feeling this morning?
Morning, folks. It's gonna be a great day on the water.
Whiskey, what are we cooking up here this morning? This looks pretty serious, man.
So we're doing some cheesy grits with spicy andouille sausage.
Wow.
And a poached egg on top.
Wow, dude, that sounds amazing.
It's a very cold morning, so we figured we need some pretty hearty to get us going.
Awesome. Now, what goes into this?
It's a 4-to-1 ratio of milk and water to grits, and then a lot of cheddar. Kind of what we're looking for there. Half pound of cheese.
Alright guys, so my esteemed crew is kind of sleeping on the drive here.
I feel like a sucker.
These guys are hurting. They got in at a reasonable time, but apparently we're doing a little business planning and strategy session late last night as Papa Martin here was in bed sleeping. You know, gotta get your sleep when you're an old man. Game plan today, guys. We have a pretty cold start, 29 degrees here. Water temps yesterday were at about 47, 48. So in the last 2 weeks, things have really cooled down here up north. We had snow this past week. I mean, we are definitely, even though it's still kind of early October, it really feels like it's mid-November. So that is unique to today's muskie hunt. But again, the goal is we are going to be as versatile as possible. The body of water we're going to be fishing has just all around tremendous amount of structure, where, you know, be it rock piles, weed reefs, weed flats, you name it. It's got down timber. It's really just got a plethora of different options we're going to investigate. You know, I've on this particular set of lakes we're fishing today, I've had some great fall days on live bait. We've also had some great days with artificials. It's always, you know, in my opinion, late fall fishing, mid fall here, it's kind of a toss-up whether you're going to get that hot artificial bite or the hot sucker bite. Or, you know, sometimes it's 50-50. You never know. So we have this boat loaded up with suckers. I believe we have 8 to be exact. We're planning on being out here all day long. All right, you guys ready?
Guys, it's been 2 weeks. 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 2 we
working in Wyoming for the entire muskie season, Brian is back and eager to put muskie in the net. As the season draws to a close, pressure to succeed is building.
Nice job, buddy! Nice job! Brian! Yeah, baby! Nice Mr. October! Mr. October returns! Woo! Alright, Mr. October, let's see what you got,
right.
man.
Oh, look at that belly hunter.
Wow, whiskey. Nice fish, man.
Goldilocks getting the job done.
Does Goldilocks, ever fail to produce a muskie for us?
Chilly mid-October day here.
Not since I've been around. Wow. Gorgeous fish, Brian. In the line figure eight, too.
Line figure eight always counts. Do a good figure eight.
Guys, back from Wyoming, the guy still knows how to catch fish.
Let's get her back.
All right, awesome, man.
After putting one fish on the board, it was the very next spot that we would have our first sucker activity of the day.
Oh, what happened? Oh. Whoa. Frustrating moment, guys. We just lost a nice fish on the sucker. Saw the fish.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm telling myself I couldn't have done anything differently there. I don't think I horsed her. It's good hook set. Felters, good fish. Just didn't stick the hooks.
we are right on Moonrise, and this is exactly where we unfortunately lost one last year and then caught one like the very next drift. So let's get at it right now. Oh yeah, that's her, dude. That's her. Come in the boat, guys.
Over the other side.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Yeah! All right, baby. In the wind. All right, guys. First cast back on that rock reef. We just lost that sucker muskie on. This fish just hammered the baby death raider. We're gonna get her back and keep going. It is moonrise time, baby. Awesome fish. Moon overhead. It's the major period. 2 muskies in the net, 1 lost. It is time to lay the hammer down. Tell the boys are in a very serious mood. We're going to hit one of our best rock reefs. We've caught fish on rocks and weeds, but 2 of the muskies, including the one we did lose, came off of the rocks. We have had 1 fish follow up on a glide raider in the weeds. That's it so far, but so far today, the bite was right on Moonrise, and hopefully now on the major period. Let's do it. Alright guys, so first thing I'm doing is taking a long bomb cast with this baby depth raider here. And I'm just going to crank down until I make contact with the rock reef. So far haven't felt it, haven't felt the reef at all. And nothing there. Now, this is a good example of, okay, my last cast, Joe, I'm going to throw it up to the left a little bit. I ticked left, so I'm going to go back to the direction where I hit the bottom. On that cast, I was too far right, so I'm going to go back left here. Now that cast should do it. This is going to hit the target. So, rod tip pointed at the reef. Quick speed. Now I'm clicking. Watch my hands. Now I'm off the reef. And see how I did that? It's real subtle. It's almost like you're working a jerk bait on the bottom of the lake. The buoyancy is really the neat part about this. The buoyancy does is as this thing hits rocks, it backs out of the snags, and then you dive it and dig it back down into the rocks, and that's when the muskies hit it. Really rough around. Got it? Got her, man. Yes! Yeah, baby! Woo! Go, baby! Yeah! Oh, yes! Yes! Oh my God! Dude! That was the one that got off this morning. All right, there she comes! Woo! Nothing like ending the day on a muskie, guys.
All right.
All right. Man, guys, when you're finishing the day, always come back to your best spot. In this case, it was on a moon phase, the major period, and we scored.
Big time.
Awesome job, guys. Let's get her back. After our big day on the water, we do have a head chef, Big Whiskey, who actually was a head chef. I'll tell you more about that later on in Wyoming at the HF Bar Ranch. But Brian, what are we doing for dinner tonight? What's the game plan?
So tonight we're whipping up some steak sandwiches. After a long, pretty cold, windy day on the water, this is going to be just what the doctor ordered. So we're doing grilled ribeye steak. Slice that up. It's going to have a soy sauce glaze over it, which we have reducing right here. Some short bacon there for some heat. Some caramelized onions, which are kind of coming together here. So now we're putting a little soy sauce glaze on these boys. Hopefully that'll kind of caramelize on there and should be pretty tasty.
Now, guys, if I was grilling this right now, I'd be afraid of these flames. Brian, what is this a bad thing, a good thing when the flames get right up on the steak like that?
No, not at all. These guys aren't super thick, so we're going for a really quick sear, and we want to pull them pretty quickly here.
So guys, to sum things up today, we caught 3 muskies, lost 2, maybe 1.5, for sure 1. A nice fish, Brian, that you had on the sucker. We saw it. The biggest fish for sure we had hooked. Brian had on a sucker. Not sure how it got off. We thought through that scenario numerous times.
Yeah.
So it was an awesome day on the water. There's no doubt about it. I think this moment right here is why we're so addicted to this sport. I mean, obviously there's the thrill of the muskie catch. There's the hunt. There's the allure to it. There's the mystique of the giants. There is all of this pent up. There's the history of it. I mean, it's a sport that's been done for hundreds of years, and we've got all these greats of past and present. But I think this very moment that you're witnessing with the three of us right here, with the Sun Porch Trio, our band, that really started right in this backyard. I mean, this very moment is why we do this. It's because you get to spend time with the people that you care most about. There's a lot, I think we would all agree, there's more days in the boat muskie fishing that you don't catch anything. And those are sometimes the best days.